Simon Baron-Cohen is also working with autistic children, but he's carrying out experimental studies to test a particular theory about the nature of autism.
One of the things that brought me to this whole area of research was the many observations by people that know autistic children that they seem to lack empathy, whatever that means, that they don't seem to be aware of how other people might be feeling, how other people might be thinking, but no one had ever really tested this experimentally before.
What's that? Can they appreciate what another person is thinking? It's at this third level that Simon feels, and his theory predicts, that autistic children will have difficulty. We'll look at just one of the experiments that he and his colleagues used to test this.
And her name is Sally.
Yeah.
All right, well, Sally stands over there. Then we've got another doll, and this one's called Anne.
Yeah.
Anne's over there. Now, which one is Anne? Good. And which one is Sally? Good. Now, look at this. Sally's got a yellow box. This is a test of whether the child can appreciate that someone else might have a different belief about a situation to the child's own belief. Sally has also got a little marble.
Yeah.
And she puts it inside her yellow box. And now she goes for a walk. Off she goes.
Yeah.
She's gone for a walk. Anne goes over to Sally's box, takes out the marble, and puts it into her blue box. The child knows that the marble has been moved. The child's also seen that Sally has gone out of the room or left the scene when that transition occurred. So she shouldn't know that the object's now been moved. So when asked the question, where will Sally look? To pass this test, the child should point to where Sally thinks it is, rather than to where the marble really is. Here comes Sally, back from her walk.
Yeah.
Where will Sally look for her marble? Right, and where was the marble in the beginning? And where is the marble really? Very good. What we've seen with this autistic child, and indeed with the majority that we've tested, is that the child actually points to where the marble really is, rather than to where Sally thinks it is. And in this case, demonstrates no ability to distinguish between their own belief and that of someone else's. Here she is. Where will she look for her marble?
Yellow box.
So, for this third question, to test whether autistic children can appreciate what another person is thinking, Simon uses the conceptual role-taking task. He found that between 75 and 80% of autistic children failed the core question.
It's very important to actually rule out that maybe other non-autistic children might also have the same difficulty. So what we've done is to do exactly the same test with a group of non-autistic, what we could call normal kids of about 4 years old, and find that majority have no trouble at all with this task. They can easily distinguish between where they know the object to be and where Sally falsely believes it to be. Where will she look for her marble? Right, now where is the marble really? That's right. And where was the marble in the beginning? Very good. We also tested another control group. Down syndrome children generally have a much lower mental age than their chronological age. Given exactly the same test, they also passed this experiment just like the normal kids. This led us to conclude that the sorts of problems that the autistic children were showing were not due to their general developmental delay, but indeed might be due to something about being autistic. And certainly we're finding that something like 75% of autistic children fail this kind of test. Now, the immediate link with this would be their difficulties in social relationships, that maybe the reason that they're not forming social relationships or that they're entering social relationships in a very bizarre way is simply because they don't understand that different people in a relationship can actually have very different concept or mental picture of what's going on. So the social relationship, if you like, is in a way the first thing that this might explain. It may also underlie their communication problems, And that's really an area for further investigation.